If you are enjoying the story so far and need more Dungeons and Dragons in your life, I invite you to check out another group called the Long Past Podcast. They are working their way through heroism and tragedy in the events of the Chragan War. Their name and link are in the description below.
Day 60. Well, the first part of the journey, we were placed in all the fights. There were plants and rocks and blue humanoids and other things in the nights. After 2 days in the desert sun, I had to continually wash my hands. After 7 days in the desert fun, a moving dead came up from the sand. A dead coyote, a village flood, and then comes a full moon, then attacked by my best friend. I knew it was too soon. We've been through the desert on a bone cart with no name, 2 mules and an elf who doesn't care if he's in the rain. I'm writing this down so if I can't remember my name, then there isn't anyone around to give me no pain. It's been a week or 2 stuck in the desert stand. The temple dealt a difficult hand. When to astral planes, either up or down, I got hit hard to the ground. Empty hands, we held our heads high, and the tribe's group, we passed by. They're behind us on the trail. We also had some orcs on our tail. We beat them all down with flying rocks all around. The desert heat is hot and the ground is dry, but the air has a sinister vibe. Something in my mind so strange, but I can't describe. Another day in this journey in sand. What will be dealt by Seba's hand?
Now let's get into it. Welcome back to the land of the hunter. We have traveled 5 hours to the west. We are now 15 miles away from the Holgath war tribe. Before leaving, we did secure their promise that if we can stop the mysterious floods, then they will pledge their tribe to our cause just as the Taman tribe already has. The weather is a warm 80 degrees this evening with no rain, but strong winds have kicked up another swirling sandstorm. This imposes disadvantage on ranged attack rolls, audible, and visual perception checks. Our magical resources are rather drained, and with the successes and singular loss of the day, we are looking forward to a long rest. And I just realized I didn't open my character sheet. As we set up camp, Varen is going to quickly cast non-detection around our tents. And Thea, Varen's also going to cast at 2nd level Longstrider into your Ring of Spell Storing. So you can go ahead and add that to your character sheet, and I'll make the changes on mine as soon as it finishes coming up, which it's taking its time doing. Having contributed thus in this magical way, Varen, without making eye contact with the rest of you, kind of shuffles away, and sits on the ground, closing his eyes and putting himself into a meditative trance, not to rest, but to try and focus his mind. My character sheet is finally up. So I cast at 2nd level, and at 3rd level. Okay. Thea, did you add that to your character sheet?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I have 8 pinches of diamond dust left. Whatever. Del is going to move to Varen's side and quietly cast guidance on him, as Varen is going to try to meditate to control the rising urges spurred on by the soon-to-come full moon. So let me get these rolls out of the way real quick. Actually, while I'm doing that, it is currently 6 in the evening. If we wish to enter our trances at midnight, and thus come out of our long rest at 4 a.m., that means we have 6 hours in which to write spell scrolls and brew potions. As a side note, if Varen succeeds on these meditation challenges that he's about to go through, he will not be forced to transform.
Cool.
Indeed. Adrian and Thea, how do you want to spend the next 6 hours as Varen is going to attempt these checks?
Well, within those 6 hours, will we be able to gain any spell slots?
If you eat Silvataf, yes.
Right. I only have 2 Silvatafs left.
As do I. So probably the next day, Varen could probably search out for some Silvataf.
Alright.
Real quick, guidance is on, and let's do insight check. Okay, that's a good roll. 21. Varen does indeed recognize the oncoming surge of power, and has to make a wisdom saving throw against the fear this brings on. The potential for devastation that may be caused. Okay, well that's a fail.
So does he now have a fear of the moon?
Fear of... let me see here. He's going to make his next check with disadvantage. And Del is going to once again cast guidance on him for this.
Is there any way that I can help you with that insight check and make you a normal?
Well, it wasn't an insight check, it was a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
If either of you are proficient at animal handling, you can take the help action for this next check.
Nope.
I am.
All right. Would you like to take the help action?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Can you describe how that would look?
Well, he's like sitting crisscross applesauce, meditating, right?
Yes.
She'll just put her hands on his shoulders, and be like, "It's okay, you can do this."
In that case, Varen will make this at normal and with guidance cast on him. So animal handling check, go! He has to beat a 12. That is an 11.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately, that means, yeah, the full moon is going to have an effect on him. Missed it by 1. Actually, missed it by 1. When the full moon rises, because Varen missed it by 1, I'm going to say that he will get to try again when the full moon is rising.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the moment, Thea, real quick, I made some changes to your character sheet.
Okay.
I've removed the sharpshooter attacks from your list of attack options.
Okay.
And I've included them as attack modifiers and damage modifiers. The same for sneak attack.
Okay, gotcha. So I click on the box before hitting the attack.
So if I tell you that you have sneak attack, for example, on a given attack, you would just hit that check mark, and then you would go ahead and make the weapon attack. Just as an example, go ahead and hit that check mark for sneak attack, and just give me a longbow attack. We're just going to test it out, make sure it's working properly. See? Rolled everything all at once. Perfect. I've also I've added guidance to all of your character sheets.
Well, let's try out the sling.
Yes, please. So that will be a visual reminder that you did do a sharpshooter attack. So that would be 16 to hit with advantage. Why are you rolling with advantage? Did you leave it on advantage or something?
Yeah, I think I accidentally clicked advantage somewhere.
No worries.
I put it back to normal, so should be fine.
Okay, I'm gonna move everyone to a different screen. All right, so how do you want to spend this evening, sir?
How do I want to spend this evening?
Yes. What do you want? Do you want to work on spell scroll? Do you want to work on potions from the ingredients Thea has?
Yeah, we can work on some spell scrolls.
All right. We do have 6 hours, so we have plenty of time.
All right.
So you should all now be at our little campsite, which I forgot to put out non-detection. There we go. All right, so we have 6 hours. Adrian, you've already spent 2 hours working on a spell scroll. Thea, you have not spent any hours working on any of the potions you have ingredients for.
Yeah, I have a lot of ingredients. I think it's because I have a harder time doing the stuff. I usually end up having to have help, so. It's like I have the ingredients for Heartsin and for Hack and Leave brew.
Yes, you also have the ingredients for certain potions.
Let's see.
You have enough ingredients to brew 2 of the following: either Alchemist's Fire, Potion of Fire Breathing, or Potion of Fire Resistance. You do have to succeed on a nature check in order to brew it.
Okay.
And others can help brew the potions with you to help lessen how much time it takes to brew either one. Excuse me, either one. Adrian, are you planning on working on your spell scroll at all?
I am, but I'm also kind of concerned about the map.
You're concerned about the map?
That one particular map that made me continually wash my hands and all that, or that parchment.
You would like to study the writing from the chamber once more?
Yep.
Very well. I'm going to delete my character token for a second. You can go ahead and give me, as I look. So you're going to attempt to read the name once more, yes?
Yes.
Please give me an intelligence saving throw. You succeed.
Nice.
Good job.
Burning into your mind is a name that you cannot pronounce, but you know it in its completion. It is the name of a creature. Its true, horrifying, evil nature is now embedded in the core of your mind indelibly.
Is it Urgoth?
Sorry, what?
Is it Urgoth?
I'm sorry, I still missed what you said.
Is it Urgoth or Cthulhu?
No.
Not an elder god, huh?
No. Who this creature is, you instantly know that you have never met them before. And you also instantly know that you kind of never want to. It is a so there you go. As you learn more, I will share more as appropriate.
Well, there you go. There's the sinister thing. That's the sinister vibe in the air.
Yes, indeed. Thea, would you like to work on potions with Del helping you?
Sure. So the fire breathing one, is that like having dragon's breath?
I believe so. I will have to look that up for
Or
you
it's
real
like
quick.
a cone attack of fire. Or...
I believe it is.
Did you say a prima taco?
I said I believe it is.
Oh.
What do you think I said?
No. I'm talking about what Leo said.
Oh. After drinking a potion of fire breath, you can use a bonus action to exhale fire at a target within 30 feet of you. Target must make a DC 13 saving throw, taking 4d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a success. The effect ends after you exhale the fire 3 times, or when 1 hour has passed.
I think I'll do that.
Alright.
Surrounded a lot.
How many hours would you like to work on spend on that? You have 6 available hours.
I think I have enough for 2 bottles, I think you said?
Yes, but you'll have to work on 1 potion at a time.
Right.
And I do need you to give me a nature check, and you have guidance, as Dell is going to cast that on you.
Okay. So here's my nature check.
That is success.
Really good.
That is a very good roll. That is indeed a success. So you will make progress. How many hours do you want to proceed on that?
How long does it take to make the potion?
With 2 people working on it at the same time, it will take 40 hours. Over the course of 5 days.
Over the course of 5 days. So, 40 as in 40 hours?
40, yes.
Okay. So, I guess I'll just work the 6 hours unless we're interrupted.
Okay. Alright. And Adrian, did you want to assist them? That will decrease the amount of time that it'll take.
Yeah, I can assist.
Okay. So that means you need 21 hours to go. So that took it down from 40 hours to 27 hours over the course of 3 days.
Okay.
As the moon is beginning to rise, Dell is going to once more cast guidance on Varen. And let's see if Varen can avoid the oncoming urges of the full moon. So,
and I will need to excuse myself for just a moment.
Noted, sir. That is a success on his first check. Good thing. And now for his wisdom saving throw against fear. That is a success.
Good job.
And once more guidance. As Varen grits his teeth and trying to. And Thea, he is making this check at normal. If you want to take the help action very quickly from your brewing potions, you can give him advantage.
I'll do it. Varen, are you really gonna let the moon win?
Varen grits his teeth and rolls it.
He better not.
Well, that's 26.
I think that was the right thing to say, I guess.
That jive definitely worked. Varen is not subjected this evening to a forced transformation.
That's great.
Varen is, however, instead of working on helping with the potions, Varen is going to take some time to cut from some spare leather 6 extra pouches for storing sling stones.
Oh, because he keeps running out.
Oh yeah. It will take an inch. So once you use it, you can only use one pouch at a time. It takes an I'm gonna say it's gonna take an interaction to open up a new pouch when the first one runs out of ammunition. Thea, would you like? Did I say 6? Yes, I said 6. Would you like some pouches?
I'll take an extra one. I usually don't run out of ammo.
Stones?
Yeah, mostly because I can only make 1 attack a round, so.
Alright.
But yeah, having an extra one probably will come in handy eventually.
So you can have another pouch of 20 sling stones, and I'll allow you to just go ahead and fill it up. Both of them. So 1 and 2 for me. There are 3 left. Adrian, did you want some pouches?
I wouldn't mind having a pouch. I'm almost thinking about pulling out my sling and using that.
Okay.
A little more.
A little bit more often?
Yeah.
You have 3 slings on you, sir. Or sling pouches. Beg your pardon.
3 sling pouches? Oh, I thought you were going to take the majority. I was just going to want 1.
Oh. I have 3 currently. 1 plus 2 is 3. Thea took 1, leaving 3 left. Did you want to take all 3, or just 2, or 1?
I'll take 2.
Alright, so you have 3 pouches. I'm going to add to your character sheet here.
Okay. Perfect. Ooh.
Sling stones.
That being said, does Del want to learn how to use a sling?
I think it's better that I stay ready to use magic. I do appreciate it, Thea, but I've noticed that I tend to be better with healing people. I'm not so fond of hurting people, although I will keep this dagger. Occasionally it just seems to be handy to have something sharp, given how difficult it was to escape that table.
Man, yeah. You seem to be doing good with that paralysis staff.
Yeah.
True. As this is mentioned, we're getting close to the midnight hour and time for the long rest. When, make sure I got this. Okay. Close that. Varen's head suddenly comes up and glances out into the swirling sand. I hear something. Battle. Someone's fighting. And I smell blood.
Okay. Is this something we want to help with, or see if we want to take out whoever wins or whatever? Well, Adrian, what do you want to do?
I said I have a small bleed in my nose. I'll handle it, okay? Leave me alone.
No, that's not what I'm... Varen growls.
Adrian, I don't think he was talking about your nose. He said he heard battle.
Varen's standing very tense, looking out into the swirling sandstorm, like he's about to go herring off crazily after it.
Wait, I thought he overcame the
Yes, but he is still an instinctive hunter.
Well, and not only that, he's been a little bit more tense since he started having this issue. Maybe he needs to, let off some steam.
Sick him, boy.
Hey, I snarl. Thea, did you write down on your character sheet that you're working on the potion of fire breathing?
I wrote it down in my notebook.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Varen is going to do a survival check. He's going to do this at normal, because he's contending against the weather, and he's going to rely on his smelling ability, his sense of smelling ability. 27 is definitely a success, and Varen is going to take off into the swirling sand. Del looks askance at this notion, but we're tired. Should I bring the cart?
I don't know.
Well, I don't want them to get lost. As he quickly climbs into the cart, and you two can move and follow Varen. Do either of you want to control the mules, cart, and Del, the movement of them, or would you like me to take care of that?
I don't know.
All right, I'll handle it. No worries. We are moving out into the sand storm. As you may have noticed, there are several large boulders, as well as the ever familiar and unpleasant cacti. The ground, as we have traveled further west, has become far more craggy and filled with stones, including large large boulders, piles of stones, all of which have been worn very smooth with the ever-flowing, ever-blasting sand. Also, Varen is going to continue forward. I just realized I don't remember the actual movement of the mules.
A lot faster than the rest of us.
Fair enough. Let me pull that up real quick. And while it's finished thinking. What do you know? Thea, as you come up behind Varen tenses and points, and you might notice to the northwest, through the swirling sand, a body hit the ground. Actually, mules move about the same speed as Adrian and Dell both. 30 feet.
Oh, the mules do?
Mm-hmm. They
Okay.
only seem to move further as a result of dashing constantly. Adrian, by the way, you are not carrying your shield. Did you want to equip it?
I'm not sure at this moment. I just got a new sling sack, so I was just thinking, maybe I should attack with my sling.
Do you mean pouch?
Yeah, that too.
He got something shiny and is willing to ignore the disadvantage.
Indeed. And there. Alright, as we all draw closer to the disturbance, we are in time to see a burly, tall, rugged human man with deep red skin, although we see it in shades of gray, fading black hair, and many scars. He is just finishing crushing the life out of the throat of the last of 4 orcs. As the final body drops to the ground, he drops to one knee, clearly wounded. He is pouring blood out through various wounds, but without hesitation, he starts ripping at the armor from one of the orcs. Only looking up as we seem to appear out of the swirling sands. He stares at us for a brief moment, grunts, and mutters in Goblin, "As if I didn't have enough enemies this night." And he pushes himself up to his feet. He has not yet donned the armor. He grabs up one of the orcs' axes and says, "I've got enough for all of you." What do the rest of you do?
You want to fight us?
Do we really look that threatening?
Both of you, all of us really can give an insight check. Thea, you can give me an insight check at disadvantage, because you don't speak Goblin. Or you can give me an intelligence check, and if you succeed, then you can make the insight check at normal.
Alright, so here's the intelligence check.
Nice. Oh dear. I was about to say nice roll, Adrian. Then you got a 2. Thea, you with your time with us and dealing with so many hobgoblins, you're just able to glean enough information. You can make your insight check at normal. And here's... Oh, wow. Nice. Very good. Varen's insight.
Alright, I spent all my other effort on trying to figure out the name.
It's still kind of hurting in your head since it was branded into your mind.
Oh, it burns.
It burns.
It might even still be burning.
But I mean,
like the Moon Man.
I know the name, but still don't know how to pronounce it.
It is unpleasant for you to even think of it.
Oh, sends shivers down my spine.
Del, Thea, and Varen all recognize. Adrian, you don't. Your brain is just too burnt and shredded. And besides,
still focused on the word.
you're focused on the name, but also you're kind of distracted by the fact that this guy, unarmed and unarmored, took on 4 orcs and survived, if only just. Varen, Thea, and Del all realize he's not actually meaning to attack. He thinks that we're coming to attack him, and is more acting out of, extreme exhaustion and dread that we're intending to kill him, rather than intention to do us harm.
Yeah, we'll put her hands up quite clearly, with them like obviously empty.
Del will quickly look at Adrian, and Adrian, no, he doesn't. I don't think he's intending to attack us. I think he just wants to stop us.
All
it
right.
just occurred to me that Del doesn't actually speak Goblin, so Del, skip all that. Varen says that to Adrian. I don't think he's a threat to us, Adrian. Besides, look at how he took on his prey.
Yeah, riskfully.
The man stares at us for a second, realizing that we spoke in Goblin, except for Thea. He does see that Thea's got her hands up. Kind of blinks in surprise. Huh. You're not a threat? Who are you?
We are elf warriors from a far and distant land. We've come here to try to reunite other tribes among this desert land.
Or unite them, as the case may be.
Or unite them. Didn't I say that? What did I say?
You said reunite.
I don't know. I've got something burning in my head.
I've never heard of elves. I've never seen your kind. As long as you don't stop me or slow me down, then fine. Say what you are as much as you like. He kneels down, putting the axe aside but close to hand, and again starts ripping the armor off the undead orcs.
It looks as if you need some medical attention.
He looks at the blood pouring from him. Whatever gave you that idea? Del glances at you, Adrian. Again, Del doesn't speak Goblin, but he does realize that we're not fighting. And he's just like, so is he friendly? He's injured? Should I treat him?
Well, he does have a bit of a chip on his shoulder, but I think it would be nice if we heal him. Show him a good sign of kindly gesture.
Del licks his lips and spits sand out. Is he going to attack me if I try to tend his injuries?
If he does, I'll handle him.
Okay. Alright. It's going to take him 5 minutes to don the armor. So Del is going to use... Let's see. Del is going to cast Beacon of Hope and concentrate on it. Oh, it's only good for 1 minute. So Del's going to go ahead and cast Beacon of Hope. It's only up for 1 minute. Every target has advantage on Wisdom saving throws and Death saving throws. Regains the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing. So during the next minute, while this fellow is putting the armor on, he's gonna start healing. And I opened the wrong thing. Alright, where is it? Here we go. So he's going to start the let's see. So Del does that. He's concentrating on Beacon of Hope. And then Del will also take 10 minutes and cast where is it? Here it is. 1 second. There we go. Prayer of Healing. Alright, so he is going to affect both Varen and the stranger. Either one of you, would you please roll me 2d8 plus 4? Whoever wants to. Actually, doesn't. No, I beg your pardon, because he's using the other spell. It's just going to be maximum. 8 and 8, 16 plus 4, 20. So Varen's now at full health. Yay. The fellow's still not up to full health. So Dell's going to cast it again. So that is another spell slot gone. At second level. And finally, cure. He's going at first level. Dell will cast Cure Wounds. That should bring him up to full. 8 total. Close enough. So it takes 10 minutes to cast. It takes a total of 20 minutes with all that spell casting. The stranger, as he equips himself with a great axe and 4 javelins and orc armor, and gets healed of his various wounds. I suppose I'm obliged. My name is Minotaur, strangers. If you'll excuse me, I have to go rescue my family, and he bares his teeth, or avenge them.
Would you like some assistance?
Are you capable in battle? You look fairly thin to me.
We've been able to hold our own.
Did you want to ask me any questions? Beyond the offer of assistance.
Questions how? Or in what way?
Like maybe rescue his family from what?
Who are you? Well, yeah. Who has your family captive?
People we thought we could trust. The highest priest, Callus, and his path of perpetual alleviation. They live in a tower not far from here, along with all of their constituents, their followers, of which we thought we were most faithful. But I left the tower this evening. He glances at Thea. Thea, you're still following along the conversation, though it's a little rough. I had to relieve myself. I left the tower. I saw the leader, highest priest Callus, and his lackeys tossing the parts of my wife's mother into a canyon. When they saw I had seen them, he sent these 4 of his lackeys out here with me to avoid me taking my family away.
I see. Do you know how big your or this army of lackeys are?
I know of a few of his lackeys. He's got a few more of these orcs. They're usually his hands and feet, dirty workers. He's got some large half-ogres as personal bodyguards.
Any sorcerers or anyone with spell magic powers?
Not that I've seen, but I wouldn't know much about magic. Never touched the stuff myself. Seems dangerous.
If it's not handled properly.
You've got magic then?
We've been known to come up with a few tricks.
Varen sighs and starts eating. Eats his 2 remaining Silvataffs to get back to first level spell slots. Seems like it's gonna be a long night. So I am out of Silvataff.
So Varen.
Aye.
How do you feel about this? You think we can handle their current situation? Help him out and rescue his family?
Should be a walk in the woods. Which is both as dangerous and as simple as it ever sounds.
It's true, but we know exactly what happens in the woods.
Move. Alright. Move this. Alright. I'm going to grab our character tokens here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Adrian, do you explain the situation to Thea at all, or are we just all kind of like going and she's like, I only got about half of that?
I fill her in as we're heading to our destination.
Fair enough. How do you feel about this, Thea?
Oh. Okay.
Oh, good. She's game.
Fair enough. He leads us further to northwest of where we currently are through the field of stones and the swirling sand. As we draw into a wide bowl shape of a valley, a stone tower appears out of the sandstorm, rising up from the sandy soil to roughly 30 feet or more into the air, before it suddenly blossoms out wide to the east and to the west, blocking sight of the top of the tower. These 2 protrusions arch smoothly upward as they extend from the side of the tower, ending in raised, narrow points. A deep chasm curls behind the western side of the tower, and between us and the eastern face is a crescent-shaped line of boulders. The stone here of the tower is unnaturally smooth. Climbing the tower, Thea, would require tools, rope, and especially so for the overhead arches. I'm going to move us over here in just 1 second. Slowly.
That's one long second.
I blame the system. Dell's going to kind of anchor behind us the mules with the cart and pull out his staffs, sighing as he does so. Like, I don't have much left in either staff. Okay, my player screen is still loading. And it is close to the midnight hour, so let's double check how I did that. Perfect. Okay. The tower is to the northwest of us. He points. By the way, you'll notice that your vision is much shortened than normal. This is because of the sand that's swirling about. And as we proceed toward the tower, Minotaur adds in, the bottom floor is as far as I've ever gotten. It's where all of us who are new to the beliefs stay and meditate. We know that we are doing well when our sight goes away as we focus on our beliefs. It is a practice that can last all night.
I'm gonna try the reconnect.
Can you hear me now?
Hey,
yeah.
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I don't know what happened, but I'll be editing out some of that later. Again. Did you hear anything that Minotaur said?
No, I did not, because it was completely silent for almost 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think the last time I heard you, you said you were going to take our tokens and move us to the other map.
My apologies. So we're drawing closer. Minotaur fills us in that the first floor of the tower is as far as he's ever proceeded in the faith. It is every night the constituents gather in the bottom floor of the tower in an all night long steam bath and in meditative practice until, and the way they know that they are succeeding in their meditation is that their sight goes away. Their sight returns. Their sense of sight, their ability to see. They go blind in their meditative practice.
That going blind is a good thing?
It means
it gives us an advantage.
It is the path of perpetual alleviation. Highest Priest Callus says that we must absolve ourselves of care for anything. Whatever happens, happens. No one should resist or praise what fate or luck decrees. Just accept it. Remove yourselves of passion, adoration, become bland, become complacent.
And become murdered in your sleep.
Has occurred to my wife's mother.
Technically, Thea, you can't hear that because you don't speak Goblin.
Yeah, I'll say that one of us is translating for her and Dell.
Okay.
To simplify the process. So the first floor is often the quietest at night, but expect that some people may still be awake. Blind, but awake.
Or maybe they're blind because they go to sleep.
People sleep as they fall asleep.
Man, it's just so dark out here.
Well, the sand doesn't exactly help.
No. But no torches lit up either.
Oh, that means you didn't hear the description of the tower, didn't you?
No, I didn't hear the description.
I beg your pardon. I'll read it real quickly again. A stone tower rises up out of from the sandy soil before us, some 30 feet into the air, before it suddenly blossoms out, wide, both to the east and west, blocking sight of the top of the tower. These two protrusions arch smoothly upward, tapering to fine points. A deep chasm curls around behind the western side of the tower, and between us and the eastern face is a crescent-shaped line of boulders. The stone of the tower is unnaturally smooth. Any attempt to climb it would require tools, rope, and especially so for the overhead arches. Varen's going to move to the north around the line of boulders.
Alright. Should I head south?
That's up to you.
Alright.
Varen is going to whisper, "I'm at the edge of the boulders." And
wait,
because
are you using message, or should I use message for you?
No, Varen's going to call back through the sand, verbally, no magic.
Okay.
And I mentioned that we cannot see very far because of the combined effects of night and sandstorm.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, wait a second, a full moon should give us some type of light, even if it's dim light.
There is a full moon, but it's a sandstorm. So, Adrian, did you want people to move to the north or to the west from your current position?
Well, you said that you were able to get around the rock barrier up there.
There is an opening.
All head north.
Fair enough. And Adrian, are you controlling Dell, or am I?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm controlling Dell.
I appreciate that, sir.
Yep.
Varen's going to move around this boulder and come within sight of the tower. And Minotaur shares that the opening faces the chasm on the northwestern face of this tower. And he is effectively blind, being human.
Wait a minute, he's human or goblin?
He's human. He speaks in Goblin, but he is a human.
Oh. Is this our first time meeting a human?
No, we've met several of them in the two Crusovian tribes. The Taman tribe and the Holgath tribe.
And didn't we also come across ones that wanted to enslave us?
Kill us. And capture us, sell us maybe. Do unpleasant things, who knows. We debated. We had a physical debate with them that was somewhat interrupted with undead, and they decided that we were too much of a handful for them to try and take.
I thought those were Arabs.
No, they look like it. I mean, we are in the desert. Varen is going to move up to the edge of the tower here. Glance back to you, Thea. Did you want to take the lead? You're the stealthiest.
Oh wait, I didn't even roll for stealth.
Well, we haven't rolled for stealth. I haven't called for it either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could if you guys...
really short? No, wait, I'm sorry.
What was that, Thea?
I could if you want me to.
Alright, in that case, you can take the lead. Adrian, how do you want us to proceed forward, like marching order?
However you have it right now is fine. You guys in the front, Minotaur in the middle, and then me and Dell in the rear.
As you wish.
Okay.
Since we're heading into a tower, Varen is going to pull out his short sword, so he has that to hand.
Thea will pull out hers also. Might as well.
Excellent. And also for this, Thea, I'm going to quickly put an aura on you for your short sword's weapon of warning effect. 30 feet, yes?
I cannot remember.
That's right. You can go ahead and move up towards the door if you wish. I will look up weapon of warning. I really should think about looking that up beforehand. Okay.
I am actually going to be placing my sling back in my, back
belt pouch
on me, and then equipping myself with sword and shield.
Okay.
Only because we're going to be in close quarters anyway.
Right. Short sword, here it is. I know it prevents you from being surprised. The only thing is, I don't remember by how much, or like what the range is. Is it anywhere on your features list? Weapon of warning, here it is. Within 30 feet of you. Excellent, I was right. Alright, so Thea, you can go ahead and attempt to open that door, or do you want to investigate the door?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. You can go ahead and give me an investigation check at disadvantage because of the swirling sand.
Alright.
I mean, it looks like a fairly solid excuse me. Goodness. It looks like a fairly solid door made of clay. Doesn't seem to be locked either.
Okay. She'll try to, as quietly as possible, open the door.
Give me a stealth check. At normal. Yep, you can open that door very, very quietly. Alright, and hold there please while I read. Steam cascades through the entrance when you open the door, carrying an odor of hot water, excuse me, salty sweat, and the sickly sweet odor of herbs of some strange kind. You can see from your position at least one person, and as you peek around the edge of the door, several others, spread across the clay-tiled floor, their chests rising and falling in slow, meditative rhythm, moisture dripping from their hair, noses, and ears. Those who still have their eyes open stare blankly out, sightless. Steam hisses in a sudden burst up through small venting holes in the floor and stone walls. Dimly lit torches flicker weakly in their sconces. And everyone who wants to can give me a stealth check. Thea, that's your special feature, right? The reliable talent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Varen gets a 16, and Adrian a 20. Del is going to get... Del's going to cast guidance on himself as he tries to hide. Oops. So that 9 becomes a 12 and a success. And Minotaur... I have the wrong character sheet for Minotaur. Oops. Beg pardon, everyone.
And while he's doing that, I'm actually unequipping my shield and going back to my sling because I realized we could choke these guys with our slings.
I think Thea's just going to see about getting like a mask over, something over her mouth and nose, because she's not sure she likes the idea of whatever that herbal smell is.
Oh, wow. Minotaur gets a 19.
Go him.
Nice.
No kidding. Without any assistance. All right. And you may step on inside if you so wish. Minotaur sees what you're doing and gestures with his hand. He doesn't open his mouth. He just kind of gestures a negative slash of his hand at you, Adrian, shaking his head. And then he gets very close and whispers silently and quietly into your ear. These are just followers like I was. They don't know what these people will do to their loved ones.
Okay.
I had no chance to warn them. Thea, are you going to go ahead and move in? Excellent. Alright.
Alright. Switching back to shield.
Okay. Del is going to kind of like move right, I assume right behind you, Adrian, so that your big strong shield is between him and any potential threat.
Yeah.
A few of the people do stir at the side of the wind coming through the open doorway, but other than that, they remain still. And everyone can give me a Constitution saving throw. All right, Thea. Del. Sorry, not Del. Adrian. Thank you. Adrian, that is going to be a that is going to be a fail for both of you. Adrian, you can use Indomitable if you so wish.
Using Indomitable now.
All right. And Thea, if you want to spend your inspiration point, you can roll that with it a second time.
Okay, I'll do that.
And we'll just count it as a roll with advantage, a 5 or whatever's higher. Oh gosh, never mind.
Meant to be.
Adrian, that is also a fail.
Oh.
Del, Constitution saving throw. Here he goes. Del. Oh my goodness, Del fails. Minotaur definitely fails. Oh boy.
Wow.
As we all as we all catch some of the steam in our noses, mouths, and eyes, our sight suddenly dims, darkens, and now we cannot see. We are all effectively blind.
I think that means we succeeded in our meditation.
Inspiration point.
I agree, Thea. You have retake your inspiration point. Dell's going to mutter something, and let me check real quick. Okay. He has one chance of casting that spell. Otherwise, here it is. Adrian and Thea, he's going to cast on each of you Lesser Restoration, once from his Staff of Healing and once with a spell slot.
Okay.
Removing the blinded condition from you both. Adrian and Minotaur and Dell are all blind.
Wait a minute, Adrian or Varen?
He casted on Adrian and Thea.
Okay. Because then you said Adrian, Dell, and Minotaur are all blind, and I'm like, wait,
my bad.
What? Who's Adrian? Who's Varen?
Yeah, right.
I think my eyesight is getting a little better. Instead of a big dark blur, I see a big bright blur.
And then let's see here. What can this work? Oh wait, he would have to be able to read it. Never mind. He has spell scrolls, but unfortunately, he needs to be able to see them in order to read them. And his spell scrolls would not work in either case because they're all Greater Restoration. Okay, so Minotaur, Dell, and Varen are all blind.
So, what are the walls made out of?
The walls are made of stone, and the floor is made of clay tiles.
Is the walls smooth?
Except
smooth
for
to
the interior of these walls are also smooth, but there are vent holes for steam.
How tall?
And oddly enough, there are wooden pegs that stick out from the walls. They rise up to the ceiling, which is some 15 feet above the floor. Adrian, do you want to go ahead and move your character token inside?
I'd like to, but somebody's blocking the way.
I'll help you. There you go. Oops.
I'm gone.
Oh, there we go.
Another dimension. Oh, there I am.
Can Thea try to climb the wall so she can get around them?
Isn't the wall really smooth? Oh no, wait, just on the outside is really smooth.
There's also a bunch of holes for the steam to come out.
Varen's going to blindly fumble, and after a few moments, find the door. Alright, so you can climb. You'll be moving at half your movement, except for you, Thea. You have your second story work, so you can move. You can climb along the wall at your full normal speed. Dell whispers that he can cure one more person of blindness, but he might lose the Staff of Healing if he does that.
It's your call, Dell, if you want to.
In dire need. Yeah, he has only like a couple spell slots left.
Yeah.
And they're like a first level. Alright, so Thea, you can move. You're climbing the walls then?
Mm-hmm.
Adrian, are you doing the same?
I'm not very good at climbing walls.
You can climb them fine, it's just going to move at half speed.
Okay.
Do either of you tell the others what you're doing? Or are you just going to leave them to fumble along blind?
I'm just going to send message out to Varen and see if you can relate or, just pass along the rest of the word. I can't talk right now.
Share the words.
Yes.
There you
pass
go.
the message along to everyone else.
Excellent. In that case, Dell's going to go ahead and climb along behind. Minotaur behind him. Varen bringing the rear.
All right.
So Del is on the wall behind you, sir.
Okay.
Minotaur behind. Yeah, thank you for moving him. Thea, you can see that it seems that the number of people on the first floor has decreased. That, or well, except for those people down there at the bottom, because I didn't have my screen properly aligned. Silly me. So Minotaur and Varen and Del are all climbing blind. They're finding their finger and toe holds by touch alone, and trying to be very quiet as they move above the heads of these slumbering and somewhat blind people.
And Thea is somehow in her element. It's almost as if she's meant for this.
Right?
Almost.
It also helps that you're not blind.
About where she is currently, she'll go ahead and get down.
Okay. And Thea. Never mind. Sorry. You can give me, as we're all crawling along, you can give me another. You and Adrian can both give me another Constitution saving throw.
Oh gosh.
As a gout of fresh aromatic steam blasts through these vents.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm gonna use my inspiration because Constitution is not a good save for me.
Fair
not
enough.
as bad as Charisma, but.
I mean, I'm at a 5 on Constitution, but I mean, come on, roll a higher number, please.
Adrian, you are not struck blind. Thea, some of that steam must have gotten right in your eyes. Your vision goes dark.
Okay.
Adrian, as you draw near to Thea and see that she's suddenly fumbling, if you like, you can give me a medicine check. That, or you can ask Del to do it.
Alright, I will do a medicine check.
Alright. You can do so at normal because you are not blind.
Alright, here we go. It's probably not enough.
You've actually studied a little bit about this in your great, which is, how many greats is it? I forget.
It's a lot.
Yeah, fair. Your great-great-grandfather, Thamior, and your great-great-grandmother, more so your great-great-grandmother, she actually did study for a time natural poisons. Everyone is suffering from a poisoned condition that brings on blindness. We're all of us who are blind, and Adrian, you are actually blind, so that medicine check should have been at disadvantage. My bad. I'll accept it anyways. We're all poisoned, and a few of us are blind as a result of this poison. The good news is that the this poison condition doesn't last forever. It's a temporary poison. It's a temporary blindness brought on by the poison.
She will feel along the wall.
You can recall, Thea, that you can feel along the wall. You could potentially also you remember from what you saw that the floor past that corner that you just went by is empty of people.
Right, which is why she climbed down. I think she got hit with the vent of yuck on her way down.
Indeed, you did. Adrian, you can give me a nature check. At disadvantage. Sorry, roll it one more time. We'll go with this disadvantage. So 13 or lower.
Yeah, no, this is not gonna work.
Okay, so we'll go with the 13.
Okay.
It's possible that if we wait quietly for a little bit, the blinded condition might actually go away all on its own. How long that is, unsure.
Unsure. But if I can go and find the source of this and kind of give it a little stop, then we might have a better chance.
The steam is rising through these vents, but you have no means of knowing if the source of the steam is above us or below us. or even how to get to it.
If anything rises, it has to be below.
Or it's pushed through pipes.
Yeah, but the pipes have to come below. That's basically what I'm saying.
So, what would you like to do, Adrian? Have us keep going, or try and rest?
Well, if the steam keeps on pushing out, I mean, we don't know when the steam is going to quit.
True.
Hypothetically, it won't until morning.
I'd say we just keep going.
All right. Then, Theo, do you want to open the door, or Adrian, do you want to?
I'll open the door.
All right. As 4 of us are blind. The hall continues, sir. Twisting now to the right.
All right, follow me down the hall.
This is a much narrower hall, Theo says as she feels both sides of the wall.
Yes. You can actually reach directly across. It's a few inches beyond the edges of your fingertips, but not by much.
Del is kind of supposed to be holding my shoulder.
Yeah, fair.
Leading me in, or I'm leading him in.
And Minotaur and Varen are... Oh, what's going on here? There we go. Minotaur and Varen are both feeling along the opposite walls. So Varen's hand is on the left hand is on the wall, and Minotaur's right hand is on the other wall.
Okay. Sure hope this doesn't lead us to a dead end.
Adrian, please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Again. Okay, I guess. Come on, don't fail me now. Oh, wait, was I on disadvantage? No, I wasn't.
The saving throw is at normal. That is a failure, sir, and your vision darkens. We all hear you kind of like stumble into the wall, and Varen whispers from behind, "Are you sure you don't want to wait?"
Keep going.
It keeps doing the poison, so I don't think waiting will help any.
I suppose. It's gonna be real unpleasant first if someone's ahead of us.
Yeah.
Well, they might be caught in a stupor.
Well, we'll just have to make sure that we use our other senses.
I am in a dead end.
Funk your nose first. What is everyone's passive perceptions?
14, I think.
15.
Yeah, I'm 14.
Dell's at 17. Minotaur is at 10. Thea, Dell, and Varen, all three, as we reach the end of the hall, blind, we feel a stirring in the air to our left, as though there's a leak in the otherwise stone wall.
Feel the wall.
You can give me, you're searching through your sense of touch, you can give me an investigation check at normal.
My not best thing.
You get a nat 20.
I am determined.
You must have stuck your finger right in a hidden notch of the wall, because even as you touch it, the wall seems to slide aside for you.
I think I did something.
The chamber here, compared to the hallways, is actually fairly quiet and cool.
I didn't touch anything, Dr. Jones. I didn't touch anything.
I did touch something, okay?
You do hear the flicker of a torch on one wall, and you can feel the heat of the steam flowing into this room beyond.
All right.
And as you step into the next chamber, you do feel a palpable shift in the temperature. It's cooler in here.
I almost want to say, let's rest in this room. It feels so much better.
Do you wish to rest?
Why don't we all go in? shut the door and see if any of that medicated steam comes in here.
Minotaur grunts blindly. Okay. And Varen will push shut the door. All right. If you want to have a short rest, effectively, we can.
Yes.
Okay. After an hour, so it's now 1 in the morning, or a little bit before 1. After a bit of blinking and yawning and grumbling from Varen, our eyesight does actually start returning. And also the poison condition ends.
Oh, good.
What a relief. I don't like steam. I've decided.
I don't like whatever the herby stuff in it is.
Yeah, it smells really sick. As our sight does return, we see the flicker of the torch. There is no steam in this chamber, but there is a ladder leading up to a trap door.
Well, are we heading through it?
Yep.
If it means finding my family, aye.
All right.
And then Minotaur pauses and thinks, like, wait, did I pass my family already? Okay, we're going to move to a new map, so stand by.
Okay.
I'm going to move all of you in just a moment.
Please stand by.
Recalculating.
Realize too, in case of craft, the person next to you can be used as a flotation device.
Alright, I will get everyone up in just a moment. Wrong button.
Oh, they can't be used as a flotation device if they're still alive.
Truth. Alright, Adrian, I'm getting you on there.
Alright.
And then Del. And then Tia. And Varen bringing up the rear. As the chamber below us was empty of steam, this small chamber, feeling very cramped, is likewise empty and clean.
Nice. It's even detailed.
There is a single door in the southeastern wall. Del rubs at his eyes. Are we sure we want to go through?
Do you want to go back through the way we came?
He shudders. Not particularly.
So, onward.
Well, who's opening the door?
All
right. Agent, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, gosh. I'm not good at those.
The steam from below condenses here into a cool mist as it rises up through the floor, odoriferous with the salt of sweat and heavily laden with herbs. The mists peel back before the air let in through the door, and as the moist laden air stirs into our chamber, Adrian, you take a short breath and slump to the floor asleep. Oh no. Thea and Varen, we're both the closest to the door. Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
Thea, you succeed. Varen slumps to the floor unconscious.
Pull Adrian through the door and then shut it.
Adrian remains asleep. Del is going to shake both Adrian and Varen. It takes a full action to shake us. It takes so much effort. Adrian, you and Varen are now awake, but we are subjected to the poisoned condition.
Now this is a natural sleeping potent thing. It's not a charm potent.
It was not a charm.
It's not a charm sleep because I'm immune to those.
It's not a magical sleep.
Yeah, you're not immune. You're immune to magical sleep. You have advantage against charmed condition saving throws. This was something else.
This is a natural.
Yes.
This is a poisoned attempt.
Ugh.
If somebody casts the spell sleep, it just doesn't work on you.
Minotaur grunts. I have never been up here. I don't know what that mist does, but it did not look pleasant.
No, it's gonna give me a headache.
Varen grumbles. Well, we can't stay here. We have to go through.
Would wearing a mask help?
You can try it.
Okay.
You're gonna open the door?
I'm gonna fashion myself a mask and open the door.
Alright, give me a Constitution saving throw. It must affect more than just breathing, because as soon as you open the door, you drop to the ground. Agent, please give me a Constitution saving throw.
I need a Constitution saving throw as well?
You need a Constitution saving throw, sir.
You're next to the door.
Shake, 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 shake it, shake, 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 shake. And throw!
That is a failure. You slump to the floor.
Ah.
Varen, Del pushes the door shut, and Varen is going, and then Del's going to take an action to shake Thea awake, and Varen will shake Adrian awake. Thea, you are now subjected to the poisoned condition.
Okay. So, I don't know what's causing it to be like that. Maybe it's because it touches our skin or our eyes. Maybe it goes in through our ears.
We've got to get through somehow. Let me see here. Del snaps his fingers. Adrian, you have some access to some magic. You can push the wind around. You can control the wind. Are you able to do that?
Oh yeah, you have that gusty wind blowy spell.
Do I?
Yeah, you know it does a line.
Yeah, but I have no spell slots for that one.
Maybe we should take a long rest and continue on afterwards.
Varen's going to unfasten his cloak. Oh, my check should have been at disadvantage. Sorry. Thea, you can give me an insight check. Oh, I get 10 or 10 either way.
Insight.
Varen's going to unfasten his cloak, but instead of trying to fashion a mask from it, he holds it up and starts flapping it to create a wind.
Okay. Is the insight at disadvantage?
The insight check would be at disadvantage, yes.
Okay. Insight.
If you can create a wind of some kind to kind of keep the mist back from your face, it's going to be extremely difficult. Varen's cloak might give him advantage, but it won't keep the mist back in the same way a strong wind would. However, do we have the means of plugging holes?
Well, you know, there is one way of keeping smoke out of your lungs, is if you take whatever cloth you use as a mask, soak it in water. And that should actually keep the fumes from getting in.
I will point out as the DM, this gas, this poison, whatever it is, it's affecting all of us through more than just our breathing.
It's like coming in contact with it, whether it's like through our skin or our eyes, maybe even our hair.
Wait a second. I got a question.
Okay.
I've got a question.
What's your question?
So when I cast shield,
it only goes against attacks that actually hit you.
Okay, so I'm still able to have like air molecules and everything like that pass through the shield.
And you, more to the point, you can only cast shield as a reaction, and you can only take that reaction when something's going to hit and deal damage to you.
And technically, the steam's not attacking you; it just exists.
Precisely. Now, it is mist at this height. not hot steam. So it's not floating into the air quite as well. There is a chance that if we can all find a way to drive it down and away from us, we might be make our saving throws with advantage. If Aaron has his cloak that he can, drive up and down to create a wind effect.
I have my shield that I can use to cause that same effect.
Thea, any ideas?
You know what? I have a bedroll. A couple of us could sit there and try to use that too.
Okay.
To cause a breeze.
In that case, we may open the door and make our Constitution saving throws at an advantage. Varen, Adrian, and Thea, all please give me Constitution saving throws at advantage.
All right.
Thea, you succeed. Varen and Adrian both slump to the floor.
Oh, God. I was so close.
And okay. At this point, I would say we're somewhere around 1:15 in the morning. Ouch, my neck. Sorry. I assume, Thea, that you and Del both shake Adrian and Varen back awake.
What she'll do is because the door's still
I
open.
assume that you shut the door. My bad.
Yeah, I'll shut the door.
Okay. And now, Thea, you did succeed on your saving throw. You were able to wander out into the mist. Without it affecting you. You're still subject to the poisoned condition, but you're no longer, slumping to the floor.
Could she have shut the door behind her?
I would accept that.
And so she could go in the hall, shut the door behind her, and she'll let Del know she's just going to take a look around and come back.
Yeah. If you wish, you can give me perception checks at disadvantage. Or at normal if you wish to use your tactile senses.
Yeah, she'll feel around while she's walking.
Okay. There are no holes in the floor here. The vents that this mist is rising through seems to be coming from small gaps and far less frequent than the holes in the wall below. It is possible that if you plug up the holes, that the others will have an easier time getting through.
Huh.
If you can find a way to plug the holes.
We have a tent. What if we
Yes.
What if we just rolled the tent out across part of the floor?
You would need to plug up.
What about the pythons?
The pitons. Those are narrow spikes.
Those are to you hammer it into a wall face or a rock face
or cliff.
Yeah, to tie rope around to help you.
Couldn't you be able to take those and plug up some of the holes?
No, it would cause a bigger hole.
Exactly. You could use a tent. One tent is going to be much more than enough to plug up one of these holes. The question is, do you want to plug up one hole, or do you want to be able to plug up multiple holes?
I want to be able to plug up multiple holes, but the thing is, I don't know that I have anything that. Well,
you have 50 feet of rope.
I do.
And you could cut it up, and you might remember Del has mending.
He does. Okay, so she'll go ahead and she'll cut up her rope. Let's see.
Okay.
I
would say you would need 7 lengths, 10 feet long each.
Okay, she'll poke her head back in and does anyone else have rope?
Varen and Adrian, Adrian, you're right next to the door when she pokes her head back in. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
And I do have it back on normal.
As do I.
Here, take my...
Adrian and Varen both slumped to the floor. Thea, you have 2 ropes. Adrian got his rope half off his pack and just went, oh, nap time.
Okay.
With 2 ropes, that's 50 feet. Yeah, that's enough to plug up 7 lengths.
Okay, so she'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. That will stop the flow of the mist. and in this ring, effectively, the air clears somewhat.
And then she'll take and try to use her bedroll to kind of disperse the mist that's there.
Excellent.
The best she can.
This takes you several minutes, but you are able to succeed.
Okay. And when it's suitably cleared, she'll open the door and be like, I think I fixed it.
Adrian and Varen are both awake by now, with both Del and Minotaur like, really, you two? Okay, so this is now opened.
Do I need another Constitution saving throw for?
No.
Okay.
So Thea, Adrian, and Varen are all still poisoned. Oh, I grabbed the wrong character token, my bad. But thanks to Thea's efforts and the cut-up rope, we can now proceed through this chamber unaffected.
Nicely done, Thea. Good job.
You're welcome.
Varen steps out and he's just kind of like moving rather woozily, like. Minotaur's grumbling. Who did I get to help me with this? The people here are in a deep slumber.
Oh dear. Alright. Is the wall climbable?
So your guys' Constitution saving throw didn't work either.
I don't think it's meant to.
The wall is much smoother here. There's no vents in the wall like there were on the bottom floor.
Okay. She's just gonna try and do her best to wiggle past them the best she can.
Excellent. There is a way that you can tiptoe through. If you see my line.
Yeah. So
but I would highly recommend that we go one at a time.
Yeah, I'll go first.
One foot in front of the other. Soon we'll be walking across the floor. Oh.
It should be noted that it did take a full action to wake up everyone who fell asleep to this poison. So it's conceivable that talking is not going, like regular talking, is not going to be quite as disturbing to their sleep as it would be otherwise.
But if we fall against them, that might wake them up.
It might. So watch your balance. Do you wish to open the door, Thea?
Yeah, she's gonna try it before the others get all the way there.
Okay, go ahead and open the door.
Ooh.
The mist is thick once more. You did succeed on your Constitution saving throw, so you're not going to fall asleep. Adrian, please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. Hope my digital wrist is in good condition.
You love it. It's actually kind of refreshing.
Oh.
Do I detect lavender notes?
Yes, you do actually, but not in a pleasant way. It's more like spoiled lavender.
With a hint of eucalyptus.
The gaps are about the same length as they were in the previous ring. As well as so they're about 10 feet long each, and there's actually in this ring, you're not sure how many vents there are. Del needs to give a Constitution saving throw. He fails and falls asleep. Thunk.
Well, wake up.
You shake him awake. Do you shake him awake?
Yeah.
Then let's see if he falls asleep again. The door's still open.
All right, I closed the door.
Thea, are you going to reclaim the ropes and start plugging holes in this area again?
Yeah, and she might grab Varen's rope too to.
Yeah, Varen will willingly enough hand it over.
So yeah, she'll go grab all the rope from the previous room and bring it into this room. And
interestingly, there's only 6 of 10-foot slots that the mists are coming through instead of 7 as they were in the previous circle. With Adrian helping you, it doesn't take. You'll have to. I'll have you go ahead and go the full circle.
Okay.
Before you to plug up all the holes. But neither of you are going to be affected by the slumbering effect.
Alright, and then I'll use my bedroll to try and get the mist away from the door and kind of like shoo it towards the sleeping people.
Fair enough. And with that in mind, if you guys want to go ahead and find your ways, your way around.
Well, looks like we're able
plugging
to
holes as you go and fanning the mist away.
Yeah, it looks like we're able to go through this corridor here.
You're talking about that? Yeah. Yes, you're correct. You could also just jump. I mean, they're slumbering. They're not standing. They're all prone.
Yeah, but she's also wanting to be kind of,
quiet.
Yeah.
Respectful. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could be respectful, I suppose.
Or at least considerate.
Varen just leaps over to these 2 people. And you're plugging holes as you go, Thea?
Yes.
Okay. Adrian, I assume that you're helping her. Adrian?
I think he muted himself.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I was trying to be quiet.
That's good to know. Thea, as you finish plugging up the last of the holes, you realize that you're standing at the foot of another ladder rising to 15 feet to another trapdoor.
She'll go up it because just in case, and she won't wait for the others because of how things have been progressing so far.
Very well. All right. So you're climbing. Adrian, are you going to continue moving yourself towards the bottom of the map?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Not easy with all these different people, eh?
Oh my goodness, I never realized how much I'd have to tiptoe around people.
Oh, so you never went to the outings where there was like a bunch of people camping out and if you had to go answer the call of nature, you had to sit there and not wake up anyone?
The last time I went through any kind of camp whatsoever, we were slaughtering people. Well,
several of them.
Specifically hobgoblins.
Oh, so your training was different than mine.
Training? What kind of training did we do?
Excellent question. All right. I will move us to the new map.
I kind of miss those days going into hobgoblin camps and
just
taking out each one just one at a time and slowly, completely, taking care of the entire wave of like half of the camp. And then that one fateful one where I accidentally slipped and I missed killing them.
Right.
And then that wakes everybody up.
You mentioned as you climbed that you went up ahead of us. Mm-hmm. As you climb onto the new floor, you feel thick, cloying moisture cling to your body and armor. Musky odor floods your nostrils, sickly sweet and pungent with some sort of nasty herbs. The air stings your eyes, and you begin coughing as you move forward. Please give me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna be firebolting something later.
That's a fail.
Can I try to fall heavily so that they hear a thump?
You do not fall unconscious, but you do take 11 points of poison damage.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to need 3 more Constitution saving throws from you.
Alright.
That's another fail. That's a success.
And 3.
So that's 2 successes. Give me 1 more Constitution saving throw.
And 1 more.
That's another fail. Oops, my bad. Ignore this roll.
Okay.
There we go. You've taken 4 more points of poison damage. Give me another Constitution saving throw. Oh wait, no, hold on. No, I'm right. Give me another con save. You succeed, and you're no longer coughing up blood from the poison.
She'll poke her head down and be like, "It's really thick up here."
So all in all, you took a total of 15 points of poison damage. Adrian, who's next up the ladder?
I guess I am.
All right, give me a Constitution saving throw.
I guess. Holding my breath. Oh my gosh.
That is a success. You are not affected at all by the poison. You climb up easily enough and find that Thea has coughed up and spat out blood.
You okay there, Theo?
Just fine.
Minotaur needs a Constitution saving throw as he follows you up the ladder.
Ooh, good job, buddy.
He succeeds.
Nice.
He just comes up and like, what's wrong with you two?
Well, you're freaking used to
Del fails.
Oh gosh.
Fartel.
And he's going to take 16 points of poison damage.
Oh.
Ow.
Dude, no.
He falls to one side, and 3 more con saves. That's a success. That's a fail. Adrian, please roll me 1d6.
At least you're not coughing up blood in your beard.
Yes.
Your
I
feather
don't have a
beard.
beard anymore. I sneezed it off finally.
That's why you're not coughing up blood into your beard.
Right? Adrian, another d6, please.
D6.
Alright, takes another 5 points of poison damage. He's down to 21 hit points. That was 1, 2, wait, how many did I roll? That was first, second, third. That is another fail. Adrian, another d6. Takes another 5 points of damage.
Oh,
That hurt him.
She's gonna start, like trying to get her bedroll to like wave fresh air, air around him.
Okay. All right, and I just realized I positioned 2 tokens wrong. My bad, everyone. Alright, Varen now has to make a con save as he comes up the ladder. Can he do it? Nope, he's gonna take 3d6 poison damage.
Ugh.
He takes 9 points of damage. And 3 more con saves. Well, that's a success. That's a success. Varen takes no more poison. He just coughs out. Oh, a nasty taste. Everyone else okay?
Well, before we move on, can I give Del a hack and leaf brew?
You can. He has some talon saps.
Does he?
Yeah, he has 7 talon saps.
Oh, okay.
Do you have written down what talon saps do?
I
2d4?
do actually have that on here.
Alright,
Hang on a second.
Would you mind writing that down, or letting me know? Thea, did you want to take
4d4 plus
saps.
4d4 plus 4.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's 4d4 plus 4.
All right.
And what did I want to do? What?
Did you want to take the lead?
Sure.
12 hit points. Give me a stealth check if you wish to. If you want to proceed stealthily, it will be at disadvantage unless you want to move at half speed. Okay, you're moving at half speed, and it's 16. Oh no, you're not moving at half speed. My bad. Wait, aren't you proficient with stealth?
Yeah, so it should be a 23.
Okay, you proceed with a 23 stealth check.
I think it's because I rolled it at disadvantage, so.
It's an odd thing to do that. Adrian, did you also want to give me a stealth check?
Yes, but can I still give Dell a hack and leaf brew?
You can if you wish.
All right, so that one was 8d4 plus 8 or plus 4? The hack and leaf brew.
I believe it's 8d4.
Yeah, 8d4 plus 8.
All right, here we go.
That is 31 hit points. He is definitely up to full.
Great. I feel much better now.
So does he. You can give me a stealth check at disadvantage.
Sure thing.
As Thea just kind of starts disappearing. Alright, Minotaur gets a 16, and Adrian gets a 26 stealth?
I'm shocked, too.
I'm shocked. Alright, and Dell did not roll a stealth check. He has to do a disadvantage. Stealth. He gets a 5. Not good. And Varen also has to make a stealth check at disadvantage.
Don't worry, he can hide behind me.
And Varen gets a 24. Alright, Adrian, do you want to go ahead and move yourself and Dell?
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Okay. Thea, there doesn't seem to be anyone on this floor. At least not so far as you've seen.
That is super odd. Well, maybe none have made it past the other floor.
It is rather eerily silent. There's a door ahead on your right. Do you wish to open it?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay. Hang on. As you touch it, please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Alright. Oh, this probably should be at disadvantage. Sorry about that.
No, the saving throw is at normal.
At normal? Okay.
My icons are stuck.
Oh, hang on.
They kind of went through a wall.
Yeah, I see. That happens sometimes. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, Thea, you press against the door. It feels kind of slick. I mean, given all the steam and mist and poisonous vapors, not too surprising that it's slippery. And you can go ahead and open it. The hallway beyond is mercifully clean air.
Clean air beyond this door!
Do you actually shout that out?
No, but she'll say it in a loud enough voice. You know, she's not gonna shout it, but...
Okay. I will expect a stealth check, though, since you announced your location so prominently. Okay. A natural 20 is more than enough. Clean air. I almost forgot what it smelled like.
How refreshing.
Dell just kind of wipes at his fevered brow. I don't feel so good.
The
Say what, sorry?
Someone could have closed the door.
Oh, right. Varen is going to kind of limply shove it closed. Do you wish to continue?
Yeah, I might as well see what's here.
Ow, my eye. Ooh, excuse me. The hall continues circling around and around and around.
Alright, she will start to try and feel the wall.
Okay, you can give me a perception check at disadvantage because you are subjected to poison right now.
Alright. Perception.
Are you proficient in perception, so you still get your reliable talent?
Yeah, that would be 15.
Excellent. It feels like it takes a moment, but you do find a similar notch as to the that secret door on the first floor. And I will open that up in just a second. My system is going a little slow again. Sorry. Finally. Almost. Finally, almost.
Finally, almost. It's good enough for me.
Whoa, what just happened? Okay. So there we go. Alright, would you like to open the door?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, give me 1 second. Where'd it go?
I don't know.
Sorry, my character sheet is moving slowly again. Darn you. Okay, here we go. Sort of. Come on. Okay, and sorry, I'm just double checking something real quick. Alright, I need charisma saving throws from everyone.
Alright.
You know I'm not proficient in charisma.
Yeah. I get whatever's on the die. Let's see.
Alright, that's a fail. Just need to double check something real quick. That's a fail.
Of course it is. I have a -1.
I'm double checking something real quick because the description is not providing me the information I need to know. How rude. I know it's somewhere, sorry. Ah, okay. Okay. We are each of us, sorry, Adrian and Thea, you both fail. Thank you for your saves. Del, charisma saving throw. Sorry, what?
I said thank you for your fails.
Yeah. Del succeeds.
You little.
Well, he is lovelier than the both of us.
Varen fails.
I thought he was lovely with the feathered beard.
And
of course he was. It was very striking.
Minotaur.
Very flattering.
Minotaur also fails. So of the party, Del is the only one who is not rendered indifferent to the chamber beyond. Indifferent. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm trying to find.
So we have achieved indifference.
Exactly. Achievement unlocked. Okay. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Wait, how's that the same?
Well, you see, that's like what we're trying to achieve
by
meditating.
Effectively, we are each of us except for Del, we are each of us rendered kind of indifferent to what we see in the chamber beyond. A large dome of opaque energy stands solidly in the room, 20 feet across from side to side.
That is so not what I see.
I'm gonna move. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Sorry, I positioned these earlier without actually taking good measurements. Back. There.
Oh, sorry.
2 half ogres stand behind and to the side of this dome, immediately brandishing their weapons as soon as the door slides open. The smell and sound of quietly grunting orcs comes to you from either side of the door, and the shuffling sound of some clawed feet on the clay tiles filters through their noise. Webs waver in the air overhead as something more than air stirs in the chamber. Roll for initiative.
Wait a minute, is this what we are seeing or what Thea's seeing?
Effectively what we're all seeing. I'm just going to move you a little bit closer.
Okay. I thought we were all indifferent from each other. Yeah.
No, indifferent to the creatures in the chamber beyond.
Yeah, like, I don't see the point of going in there anymore.
1 second. There we go. Thank you for your initiative roll, sir. Thank you for your initiative roll, Thea.
Yeah, that's like a room.
Yeah, no big deal. It's just a room.
Yeah, but it's not a room with, like, butterflies and meadows.
Yeah, but I think we should just leave them to be them.
And Del. Alright, let's get the initiative tracker up. I almost hit the remove all turns.
Oh, God.
That would have been nightmarish. Okay, so those who are indifferent. Real quickly looking this up, because I had in my head what that meant. Then I didn't realize I should probably double check that.
Mm-hmm.
An indifferent creature might help or hinder, depending on what you see as most beneficial to you. It doesn't mean you're standoffish or disinterested. You might be polite and genial, surly and irritable, or anything in between. Basically, you're not inclined either to help or to hinder creatures beyond. So I had in my head what this spell was going to be used for, and I was wrong. So none of us are actually stopped from acting in this turn. In point of fact, Thea, your stealth check did actually manage to surprise, even though they were readied for action, the orcs in this chamber. However, those half ogres who were watching the door, they saw the door opening, and so they weren't quite so surprised. Alright, first up is Varen, who is stuck in the far back of the party. With his short sword in hand, he's going to squeeze through this doorway between you and the doorway, Thea. So it's going to cost him 10 feet of movement. So 5 and 10 is 15 to here. And Varen's going to use his interaction to pull out his dagger and go on the attack. Short sword attack. With disadvantage because we're all poisoned, I forgot. So I'm going to roll this again. Which is higher, which is lower, 24 or 14? 14 is lower.
14 is lower.
14 does actually hit for 11 points of damage. And that orc is massively wounded already. So, okay, don't forget to mark yourselves at disadvantage, please, because I almost forgot. Because we're all poisoned.
Oh, yeah.
So Varen's going to stab again. Getting a solid hit, and getting Colossus Slayer to boot.
Boot?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's 14 points of damage, 10 more than this poor orc had. The orc dies.
And the orc dies.
Pretty much abruptly. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And stabbing with the dagger.
Stabby stab.
As soon as I find the dagger. Here you are.
Fumbling around.
Okay, well that hits, but only for 2 damage.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, there are spiders in here!
Oh, goody.
In point of fact, if it weren't for Thea's weapon of warning, everyone except Varen would have been surprised.
Oh, thank you.
So thank goodness for Thea.
Yes.
There's a skittering noise, and something comes gliding and sliding through the webs down from the ceiling overhead, and is going to attack Varen. Once I get the character sheet up and running. Here we go. Varen sees the bite coming and twists to the side, nimbly dodging. This orc is surprised. Thea, you are up.
Oh, well, I suppose it's time to fight again.
Once more.
I'm trying to decide, do I not like the spider more, or do I not like the orc more? Probably the spider. I don't like the spider. Go right there and attack the spider.
You are at disadvantage.
Yeah, but I really don't like the spider.
Neither do I.
So, here we go.
A 14 does manage to hit, and Varen is... Wait, no, that doesn't apply because you have disadvantage on the attack. So you hit for 8. You could use your interaction to pull out your dagger and make a second attack.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, that might be, okay, somewhat useful. Oh, darn. I mean, it's just kind of indifferent to you, really. The dagger just kind of like bats between its legs, and you're like, oh, somewhat musical. Tap, tap.
Oh. Well, I'll get you next time. Maybe.
Did you want to move anywhere, or is that it for you? You only move 20 feet.
I don't like the spider. I better not let it out of my sight.
Fair
I'm
point.
gonna stay there.
Okay. Adrian, I don't know. Do you want to enter the room?
Sure.
Okay.
Why are we all talking like we're sleeping?
Because we're lackadaisical, apparently.
We're very relaxing, huh?
Apparently.
No, I'm just very indifferent, I mean, does this even matter?
I don't like the gorilla over here with the 8 legs, so I'm going to attack it. But of course, I need to use my interaction to pull out my sanguine nonetheless, and then use my bonus action to ignite it.
And what damage type, if you care, would you like to ignite it with? Fire, an old favorite.
It is very pretty.
And there you are, sir.
And I don't like that gorilla right there, so I'm gonna burn it.
Oh, yeah, I guess you kind of burn it.
Ooh.
For 11 fire.
I think I hit it.
Oh, yeah, I just realized. Yeah, go ahead, sir. You have 2 more attacks, if you care to use them.
I have 2 more. I have 2 more.
Woohoo!
Okay, here we go.
The nat 1, the spider recoils from the burning blade and hisses down at you, and you're reminded, you just don't feel like attacking them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did that hurt? I feel like I should be liking that response, but why don't we try one more?
That hits, and all of a sudden there's a dead spider that crumples down to the floor.
Hey, looks like he's going to sleep. Nighty night.
Did you want to move anywhere else, sir?
Oh, I think I have like 10 more movement speed.
You have 10 more feet, yes.
Yep.
If you care to.
I mean, yeah, I feel like there's somebody who's really lonely over here, so I want to go talk to him.
Alright, I need this guy. Crawling from its hidey hole in the webs, this spider comes crawling through at your back, Adrian. But instead of reaching all the way down to you, it spits out a mass of web at you, sir.
Hey.
It misses you entirely, but the attack does end the indifference on you.
It ends the indifference.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. I wish I could shoot web.
What were you going to say, Adrian?
Wait, why does that end the indifference on me?
Something attacked you.
Oh, it attacked me? So does that mean I still fight at a disadvantage? But
no, you're still poisoned. That's what's causing the disadvantage.
Okay.
But you are no longer rendered indifferent by a magic spell.
Oh, gosh, I don't like being poisoned. The heck is wrong with me?
Same thing that's wrong with me, Varen growls. Alright. Dell is going to... Yeah, in this he doesn't have much to fight with. Unless you can think of something for him to do. You should be able to open his character sheet, Adrian.
Should I?
Yes, you should. If you hold down the shift key and double click him.
Apparently that's not working for me.
Okay, no worries. Adele's going to move behind that door. Do you want him to stealth or do you want him to dodge?
Let's have him dodge.
Excellent, because he can do that with no disadvantage.
That's great. Does he actually go through the door, or?
That's up to you. Do you want him to move through the door?
Yeah.
All right, then he can go. You can position him where you want him to be.
Actually, you know what? I want him here. Yep. Okay. I did.
Are you good?
Yep.
Okay. And he is dodging. Please remember that for me.
All right. Dodging.
Roaring with fury. This massive half ogre comes stumping up to you, Thea, and is going to swing down his battle axe at you with both hands. Getting an 8.
Wow, that's a nice axe.
And as he attempts to slash down on you, there's a sharp rending sensation as your air of indifference is sundered and you come to your full senses.
You just had to make me care. How dare you?
Minotaur is going to come up into the doorway, kind of look around a little blearily, lazily pull out a javelin and throw it at the orc. As soon as it finishes thinking, leaving himself 3 javelins left. Getting a 20 to hit.
That's quite a thought.
Oh, he's not poisoned, so no disadvantage for him. Dealing the orc 4 points of damage. 4 points more. The orc is still surprised, but the other half ogre is not. So he's going to come stumping around that dome. He is technically underneath the spider. The spider is still in the air in webs.
Right.
And the half ogre is going to swing at your back, sir, with his 2-handed battle axe.
He
looks like he has a spider hat.
Getting a 20 to hit.
Oh, nope. Sorry, my shield is up. And
there's a sharp ringing noise, but it does not penetrate your defense.
Woohoo!
Varen, now at his own full senses.
Top of the round.
Yes, we are top of the round. The orcs are no longer surprised.
Ah, nuts.
So Varen is going to snarl at this wounded orc and stab at him with his short sword at disadvantage. That'll hit for 8 damage, and that orc needs to give me a Constitution saving throw. Mere orcs. He succeeds and is not rendered dead. So Varen is going to... You know what? I completely forgot. The stress of combat should have done something to Varen. Oops. Varen's going to go ahead and stab again. Getting a nat 1. And follow it up with his dagger attack. Getting an 18 and Colossus Slayer. And I need to quickly do... Oh gosh, that's 10 damage. He had 1 hit point left. The orc is dead. There we go. Real quickly, I'm just going to do these 3 fairly... Oops, that should have been a disadvantage, yes. That is enough. Wisdom saving throw. That is not enough. However, that is now twice that Varen has managed to succeed on conquering his issues.
Wow, good for you.
And another orc dead. Varen snarls with both fury and joy and moves up to confront the next orc. Thea, your indifference has ended. This half-ogre brute kind of snaps you out of it. Though you are still poisoned.
I'm still poisoned. She's going to disengage.
Using your bonus action?
Yeah, and then she's going to move over here. And she's going to use the help action to give Adrian advantage on his next attack.
Oh.
Excellent. In that case, Adrian, it is now your turn, sir.
All right.
You can attack at normal once.
Oh, I just don't know who I'm attacking.
The spider above or the half-ogre below?
I think I'll take care of the half-ogre.
Alright, go after the half-ogre.
Alright, switching to normal for just 1 turn.
I'm moving the spider over so I can actually reach the half-ogre. Oh, you dig in deep, right above his kneecap.
Oh, that's great.
For you. Okay, your next 2 attacks are at disadvantage, sir.
Right.
That is a solid hit. You dig it through the side of his leg.
Oof,
ripping
great.
your burning blade out the side. And not quite killing him as he deflects your deadly blow, but definitely wounding him for another 6 points of fire damage.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And what
You
I'm
hit,
going to do for
Adrian,
movement...
Adrian, you hit him 3 out of 3.
Oh, did I hit him 3 out of 3?
Yeah.
I was, I was not sure about that one. But I'm actually trying to get around him on the other side so that when it comes to Thea's turn, she has normal.
Excellent. But you did trigger an attack of opportunity from the orc.
From the orc? Oh, sorry.
On the left side of the room.
Yes, right here. However, that is an 18 and therefore misses you.
Haha, meet my shield. Ping.
Clang! Oh, I skipped a turn, sorry. The giant spider, seeing that you is going to roll. Oops. Okay, he's going to blast web at you, Thea.
Uh-oh.
But only gets an 8. The web goes insanely weird.
So how did you do that, Mr. Spider?
Dell is going to, rather daringly, move up here and slap his hand at the orc there to his left, taking the help action to give Varen advantage on one attack. Then he will move up here, and there, it will trigger an attack. No, it won't trigger an attack of opportunity from the orc. Alright, that was Dell's turn. The half-ogre, seeing that there's an intruder in the doorway, is going to slam at Minotaur with 2 hands to the axe. Getting a 17. That is going to hit for 11 slashing damage right across Minotaur's chest.
And he was brutally taken out of his indifference.
Oh, definitely. And speaking of which, it's Minotaur's turn.
Go Minotaur.
So he hefts his great axe that he took from the orcs before, and goes on the rampage against the half-ogre. And since he's not poisoned, he's attacking it normal. He's gonna hit twice for a total of 7 damage.
Oh.
Alright. The orc, who is yet unbloodied, is going to snarl at Varen and attack Varen. Getting a 14, Varen crosses his blades, catches the haft of the axe in between, and shoves it against the wall. The half-ogre is going to attack Varen. Getting a 14, Varen ducks.
Ooh.
Top of the round, Varen is going to attack once at normal against that orc. Short sword. Getting an 11 and missing. I had more luck when I was, at disadvantage. Stabbing again with his short sword. Well, what do you know? I was right. 21 to hit, deals 11 points of damage. And follow that up with the Darkling Dagger. Yeah, that'll hit. And Colossus Slayer.
Come on.
So that becomes 8 points of damage.
Oh, not bad.
And the orc dies. Adrian, as soon as the orc dies, you feel a sensation ripple through the arcane weave of magic. And I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Sure.
The save is at normal. Thea, if you do have your evasion skill, so you're going to take half damage because you failed, correct? No. How does that work with evasion?
I think evasion is, let's see. You nimbly dodge out of the way of certain AoE, such as red, like Dragon's Breath. So when you make a dex saving throw to take half damage, you instead take no damage if you succeed and only half if you fail.
Okay. You did fail, you're going to take half of the damage.
Okay.
Make sure I've got the right thing here.
I'm guessing I succeeded.
You succeeded, sir. You're going to take half damage.
Whoa!
As fire suddenly blossoms in the room.
I love the effects. It is awesome.
Thank you. Varen dexterity saving throw. Varen succeeds.
Oh yeah.
With a nat 20. Dexterity saving throw for Del. That is a fail. He's going to take full damage. So far, it's Thea and Del fail, and Adrian succeed. So Del's going to take full. Thea take half. Please remember all this for yourselves.
What about Minotaur?
Minotaur, I'm about to roll him right now.
Okay.
And the
Dexterity
spider
saving throw,
and
go.
the other dudes.
Yep, get them in a second. So here's Minotaur.
He
Minotaur
succeeded.
succeeds, and how does that work? He's going to take half damage from this? No. What is it? Oh, no, succeed means you take half damage? Yes.
If it's an most AoEs have that.
Oh, come on. Why is my system going slow again? Here we go. Failed save takes full. Success takes half. Okay. So Varen's going to take half. Adrian's going to take half. Del's going to take full. Thea's going to take half. And Minotaur's going to take half.
Wait,
All
I
right.
thought Thea failed.
Yes, but she has evasion.
I'm a rogue.
That's
Yep.
right. I forgot about that.
The half ogre gets a nat 1.
Oh, goodness.
Oh boy. Dun dun dun. He's gonna take full damage from this.
Ouch.
The spider also fails and is gonna take full damage.
Womp, womp,
And the
womp.
last half ogre also fails. Okay, Thea, you failed, and you're going to take half damage, so you take 11 points of fire damage. Adrian, you succeeded, right? Okay, so you're going to take half damage, so 11 points of fire.
Okay.
Varen succeeded and is going to take 11 points of fire. Minotaur failed, I believe, correct?
I can't remember.
No, he succeeded with a
He
24.
succeeded, so he's going to take half.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was just out of our personal party. It was only Del and I who failed.
True.
So he's going to take half. And Del's going to take full.
Yes.
So that's 22 points. He is literally at half health.
It's a good thing I healed him before.
The ogre is going to take the full 22. The spider is going to take the full 22. And the half ogre, who only had 4 hit points, is a big pile of ash. He's gone.
Was the spider on hanging?
The spider was in webs, which would have also been caught in the conflagration.
Right. So does that mean he's still up in the air, or were the webs all gone?
Let me look up webs real quick.
Technically, when fire hits webs, it does disintegrate, so then he should be able to fall down to the ground.
He will be falling, which means he'll take a d6 of falling damage for 10 feet.
Okay.
Looking for, okay. And Adrian, he's also going to take, that would be if he started his turn in the burning webs. Never mind. Alright, Adrian, please roll me 1d6.
1d6
bludgeoning
coming up.
damage.
Yeah.
That is 5 points of damage, which is 1 more than he had left. The spider lands on his face. Or her face, unsure which. Dunk, crunch, and gone. And fireball goes away. Varen just kind of coughs out smoke. Oh, what happened?
Well, that was unexpected.
And then seeing that the half ogre is still alive.
Man, I knew we were all on fire, but not like that.
Thea, you and Varen are now flanking that half ogre.
Yeah.
You can attack at normal.
All right. Let's attack at normal.
That's gonna be a hit. Give me sneak attack. Which I remember I should have mentioned that you could have gotten on. Sorry. So that is a total of 31 points of damage against a creature who had 1 hit point.
So why in the world is it highlighted blue there on the screen?
Because I think because I clicked on the, because next door it says sneak attack. I clicked on that instead of having it check marked.
Thea, did you want to move? I will point out, you do still hear the click and scratch of something sharp on tile.
She's gonna mention she still hears spiders. And she'll move closer to Varen.
Okay. Adrian, what would you like to do, sir?
Well, let's see.
Did any of those spiders get caught up in the fireball?
One of them did, and got blasted with fire, dropped from its burnt webs, and hit the floor and died. Okay. The other spider was dead already, before the fireball went off.
No, I mean the ones that are still around.
I kind of want to move over here.
Okay.
See what's going on. So.
Then you can move over there. You can also give me a perception check if you want to use your action to search.
Yeah.
Alright, give me a perception check at disadvantage.
No, not performance. Perception.
A 7. You hear the click and scratch of something on tile somewhere to the southeast of you. And you don't get anything more specific than that.
I hear noises, don't know where it's coming from.
And Thea, an attack comes at advantage against you. Eventually. As something appears out of the thin air. Getting a 12, which misses.
Well, hello.
And it clacks its mandibles at you, hissing in annoyance. Excuse me. Thea and... I almost missed this. Okay. Let me double check. Where is it? Oh, come on. Thea, I'm going to need... Okay, sorry. Character sheet is going very slow. This is quite annoying. I'm going to need a wisdom saving throw from you and Varen both. As we are the only ones caught in this. Okay, that's a fail. Thea, what is Thea's worst fear?
Probably being bound up and trapped.
The image of entangling cords, tight, inescapable, appear around your limbs, shrouding you in their tangles and coils and knots from your neck to your ankles. You feel as though you are completely constrained, as you are now frightened. On your turn, you have to take the dash action and move away from the source of your fear if you're able to.
But I can't, I'm all tied up.
You restrained. Restrained means that you have 0 movement speed, right?
I think so.
If I could find restrained. Oh, I don't have restraint. Come on. Oh, probably because it's in the other. There it is. Your speed is 0, yes, and you cannot benefit from any bonus to your speed. So basically, while you are frightened from this, you'll spend your action to dash, even though you can't move anywhere.
Okay.
Varen also has to make the wisdom saving throw against fear, which he also fails. Varen screams in terror as he is subjected to this, and then where is he? The insectoid creature also has to make a wisdom saving throw. That should have been at normal, so we'll go with the first result, which is a fail, that 4. Alright, so that happened. And Thea, we are at the bottom of the hour, so you now have the trigger to call it whenever you want to end the game for the night.
Why don't we just go ahead and finish the round?
Okay, fair enough. Del was outside the blast of that magic cone. He's going to call to you, Adrian.
All right.
Something's just terrified Del and Thea. Or, sorry, Varen and Thea.
So I need to get moving back down there.
Okay, there. Let me check. Okay, so Thea, you are basically terrified, as well as poisoned.
And imaginarily restrained.
Indeed. Minotaur is going... Oh! Nope, he was outside the range. What do you know? Minotaur is going to move up. Smoke pouring off of him. And he's going to attack that insectoid. That came out sounding weird. Getting a 6, which misses, and a 23, which hits for 5 damage. Alright. We are at the top of the round. Thea, you are frightened. Varen is frightened. Minotaur is on his feet. Adrian, Del, Thea, and Varen are all poisoned. And we have no idea what is inside that dome. And we will call it there for the night. Thank you, fellow adventurers, for joining us once more. Please comment below to vote on what monsters you want to see Adrian, Thea, and Varen take on next. You can vote for more than one kind at a time. Bearded Devil, Blue Slaad, Giant Ape, Giant Scorpion, Hellhound, Manticore, Minotaur, Oni. Thank you for watching, and I hope we'll see you again next week.